the lover. She radiates an alluring light, an ultra-femininity that demands attention from the male gaze. Her sensuality, which has zero sexual connotations to her natural ability to feel desirable in her own skin. After all, she oozes a fierce, commanding force that disarms any domineering masculine man, eagerly waiting for the opportunity to chase and tame the flames of her essence and to finally catch the blazing price of her sacred fertility. Here are a few famous women who are in this category: Mae West, Elizabeth Taylor, Halle Berry, Kim Kardashian. Here are famous movies and TV characters: Samantha Jones, Sex and the City, Sunshine, Harlem Nights. In southwestern Nigeria lies the Yoruba tribe. The Yoruba's oral tradition of storytelling recites a tale of ancestral spirits called the Orishas, which date back as late as the 8th century AD. Within the Orishas pantheons, there are over 400 deities, and out of those resides the only female deity, Ocean. I've mentioned the name Parthenon in a previous video, which was inspired by the Greek mythical stories of gods and goddesses, and later from the former Roman temple Parthenon. And now a full circle back to Africa, because the Greeks were also scholars of ancient Kemet before it was known as Egypt. Let's continue. Ocean is the outer-worldly goddess that gives sweet life, abundance, beauty, coquetry, love, and fertility. On the contrary, when angered, she withholds the life source, water. Hence, our life force on earth. Ocean is a mother of spiritual balance and life itself. Aphrodite, the ancient Greek goddess, also known as Venus, is associated with the special gift of love and beauty. She, like Ocean, is also the giver of fertility, lust, passion, and prosperity. She also is the governess of marriage. Aphrodite also had a dual side to her alluring nature, in which we all do as women. When threatened or angered, she too would unleash vanity, jealousy, and hate. Given these points, let's further examine the downfalls of this archetype, the lover. Helen of Troy, Mycenaean time, 1200 BC. Lucretia Borgia, early Renaissance, 1500s AD. And Marie Antoinette, late 1700s, right before the French Revolution. All three young, beautiful, and intensely desired by men, young and old. These women had all the assets mentioned above: love, passion, beauty, prosperity, and the ability to procreate. However, when these sirens lost control of their flames, they caused a serious brush fire that burned everything around them uncontrollably. The myth of Helen of Troy, who literally caused a war between Sparta and Troy with her beauty, lust, and charm. This spat started the Trojan War. Married to the king of Sparta, Menelaus, she later initiated an affair with Paris of Troy. Her husband sent the Spartan army to wage a war in hopes of her returning back to him. Lucretia Borgia was born during the early days of the Renaissance. She was the illegitimate daughter of Rodrigo Borgia, who later became Pope Alexander VI, and his favorite mistress, Venosa. Lucretia and her two brothers lived a comfortable life within her father's circle of family and the new mistress. She was groomed to be a fine, educated lady. In contrast, she was also taught how to use her feminine wiles and charm to attract men of power, and even if she was not interested in them herself. Lucretia was set to marry at the tender age of only 13. Her virginity was misused and abused as a means for more power and principalities by the powerful men in her life. As a result, she had suffered from grief due to her firstborn child being taken away from her right after birth and her husband's mysterious passing. In fact, she went on to lose a second husband mysteriously. Later in life, being misused and strained from the scandal and lack of control in her life, she began to withdraw from the public for the remainder of her life. She set her sights on healing through faith and religion. Marie Antoinette, born right before the French Revolution, was Archduchess of Austria. She was herself a young, beautiful 14-year-old girl who was betrothed to the future King of France, Louis XVI. The pressure for both her and her young, immature husband to consummate the marriage and conceive an heir was all too much for the young, inexperienced couple. In addition, the current King Louis XV unexpected passing thrust the young couple into rulership of an evolving kingdom. Not to mention the failure to prepare both the young queen and king for their courtly duties. This environment set off an intense sexual awakening and rebellion within Maria Antoinette. She eventually began inviting powerful men within her court to her bedchambers. She vigorously enjoyed the whims and privileges of aristocracy, however, lost control of her commitments to her court, most importantly, the French people. Consequently, what followed was the French Revolution and the disposal of the monarchy. Her fatal mistake was a comment to the French people which cost her her life. Let them eat cake. The pivotal shortcomings we take away from these three stories, albeit Helen of Troy, which is a mythical cautionary tale of dangerous liaisons and reckless passion. These women starting families were very young to our standards today, but in a historical context, you are already considered a woman once you menstruate. The prize here was their beauty and fertility. However, their natural asset in becoming future finely groomed, attractive sirens allowed the powerful men in their lives to manipulate and continue to control these women well into adulthood. As a caution, the archetype, the lover's poor emotional control, balance, and restraints regarding their love energy ignites a fear of abandonment, as well as a toxic desire to love being in love, which caused this archetype to become frickled lovers or remain in the flames of the love battles. Thank you for tuning in to the first video of my 7 Feminine Archetype series, The Lover. Why don't you take the Feminine Archetype quiz? Let's see what your dominant traits are. Is it the lover, the mother, or the maiden? The link for the quiz is in the description box below. So what are your thoughts on today's video? Please share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so when I upload another video, you will be notified. As always, because everyone has a story. Ciao.